Welcome back to our second count right here on Reffing It Up. I have the honor of welcoming 612, 15% of a metric ton, earthquaking, pillars shaking, larger than life, hotter than hell. The one thing everybody came to see, BTBB, Big Trouble, Ben Bishop.
All right. I'll give you an A minus. A minus. You came close. You came close. That was a good effort, RJ.
Was it the BB thing?
Yeah, BB, double B. You got that's the thing. You got to add in a little bit. It's okay. It's all right. We're gonna roll with it. But gentlemen, thank you so much for having me. What a pleasure, and I appreciate it. Let's have some fun today.
Well, welcome to the show, Ben. And I can tell you right now, I would never have fucked your entrance up. Never.
No, I know you wouldn't have. It's okay. I'll go easy on RJ. You guys, hey, you tried your best. A for effort, B for execution, man.
See, that's where RJ and I differ. I would have pre-recorded it and made sure I got it right, and then played it and lip synced it, so it looked like I was doing it live.
And RJ just getting buried one foot by the next, my friend.
What's even crazier is that he may have tried this before. Yeah, he tried that one and it wasn't even close. So at least that, at least that one was
that's for the Patreon subscribers who get the outtakes.
yeah.
We're peeling back the curtain. We're peeling back. This is so unreal right now.
Yeah, this is WB Unreal.
I got to ask you a question though, because there have been guys that have been built as 7-footers in history. I mean, obviously Andre the Giant and others. Where did the idea of building yourself as 6'12" come from? Because I love that.
Yeah,
I love that too. It's great.
So really, just to be really at the end of the day is to be different. But my idea came from, so when Kevin Garnett came into the NBA, he's legit 7'1". But he kept telling people, no, I'm 6'13". I'm 6'13". Like, why are you saying that? He goes, because if you tell me I'm a 7-footer, all you're going to make me do is play back to the basket, and I won't be able to do what I do best. You know, he was one of the best mid-range big man jump shooters of all time. He worked a lot in the high post. And he just said, I don't want to be thought of as just a 7-footer. And that was kind of my mentality too, because when I started wrestling, everyone's like, oh, I think you could be like maybe your gimmick should be that you're a Yeti, or you're like a Sasquatch, or you're just like, and like stuff like that. And I'm like, I don't want to do any of that. It's like, how about you put a mask on? You'd be like big menacing guy. I'm like, I think I'm better looking. I don't need a mask. I'm a good looking guy. You know, so people kept telling me stuff. So I'm like, you know what? I don't want to be like just a normal 7-footer. Now, I do a lot of normal 7-foot things in the ring, but I wanted to be different. I wanted to just be like show more personality and not just be subjugated into this like big man, tough guy, monster. Like, you know, and you know, throughout the years, people will be like, this is so dumb. Saying 6'12" is dumb. Just say 7-foot. I'm like, yeah, but you remember it. And now when I go to indie shows, I got crowds that chant it. So, you know, it's something that people remember, and it's different because we're in a business where so many things are the same and everybody does the same thing, the same moves, similar gimmicks, like stuff like that. So why not have a way to stand out and just make people remember? Everyone, you'll have a ton of people that will say, oh yeah, he's a 7-footer, he's a 7-footer. It's like, oh no, but now I have people correct him. But no, he's 6'12". And so it's just something that sets me apart from other people.
So before I tell this story, I want to make sure. Me and you until today have never met, correct?
I don't believe so. I don't believe so. No.
Okay.
Yeah.
I totally had you mixed with I sent it to the guys and I was so confident. I was like, oh yeah, he's such a cool dude. I met him in Portland. Yada yada. I had you mixed up with John Studd's son.
Okay, I've gotten that before. Yeah. Sean Studd. And you know, it's funny because we actually were from like the same area. Like I'm from Rhode Island originally, but I started training in Maryland. And he's like a Maryland or Pennsylvania guy. I'm not really sure, but that area. So yeah, I've gotten that before. Yeah.
Is he bigger than you? Taller?
I don't know. I've never met him.
He's a really cool dude. We got hammered in the Portland airport.
Oh hell yeah, I love that.
Yeah, but he's a big dude. So like,
yeah,
I like hanging with him.
Someone's always like 6'8". I don't know. It could be, but.
Well, I'm not sure. I'm first of all, I'm sorry. You are much better looking than he is.
Oh, I appreciate it.
You know,
thank you.
But yeah, so my story was all fucked up.
Had it all ready to go. You're like, oh no,
I did.
Dude, wrong dude. Sorry, maybe one day we can get drunk in the Portland airport. Let's put it out there. Let's manifest it.
Absolutely, brother.
One day that'll happen.
Well,
it could be any airport.
It'd be airport closer to where he's at because he ain't going to Portland anymore. He ain't flying nowhere.
No.
You know what? Since you screwed that story up, we can cut right there and do it over if you want.
Well, it doesn't matter. He's not him.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
But he
Yeah,
gets.
a lot
But
of-
apparently he likes. Well, I don't know if you like to drink, but you do drink.
I do. I enjoy to have a few. I partake every now and then.
All right, come on. Tell me you're drunk. Let's go.
I'm drunk right now. Is that good? Is that good audio?
Yes.
I'm hammered. I'm hammered. I was so nervous. I had about a half of a fifth of Jack Daniels before I came on here, guys. That's how I get through it. That's how I get through all this shit.
What are you
Little
nervous
number
about?
7.
No, I'm kidding. I'm never nervous. Never.
Good, because
Never.
because if you are, you're going to shake it off and forget you were anyway.
Come on, is any talking to 3 refs right now? How would I be nervous? My favorite people in the business, referees.
There you go.
Oh.
There you go.
I will
Why?
say this, and I caught the end. I will say this. I caught the end of the conversation you guys were having. There is the one thing I think that commonly can screw up any wrestling match, even if it's 2 guys who aren't good, is having a bad referee. And I say that all the time.
Yeah.
And it can really, and so I tell people being a good referee, it's a dime a dozen. There's a ton of good wrestlers. You have a ton of good wrestlers, but good referees in this business, dime a dozen.
Now,
And
please tell me, because this is often said by many people, and I know for a fact I agree. What makes a bad referee, in your opinion, and tell me what makes a good one?
I think, to me, I mean, I've always been easy to work with, so I don't go too hard on anybody, but
No, go hard, go hard.
okay, all right, cool. So no, a bad referee. One thing, and this is just personally my opinion, so I'm not saying I'm right or wrong here. What I think, somebody that's constantly in the way, or somebody also that tries to make it all about themselves and tries to be a gimmick or be a character,
Mhm.
because you're not supposed to be, and I'm not, and you're important. Referees
Right.
are important, but at the end of the day, you're not part of the show, or until you are, right? Until you have to be part of something.
Correct.
Right.
So I think when referees make it a lot about themselves, and you can just tell that in the match, where it's either over exaggerating movements or overdoing it at times, you're taking the attention off of where the attention should be, is on the wrestlers. Being out of position happens, but a lot of referees on the indies, it happens too often, not paying attention, not, no attention to detail. One thing that I have is almost too, and this is something, not on every show, because not all the indies referees don't always have cues, because they don't have the headsets or anything like that. So you kind of just got to go off of having an understanding of how much time's in the match. But some referees like to give cues every 30 seconds in a 15-minute match, which I've had happen before, where I have to say, please stop giving me time cues. I got it. I got it. So just almost being too involved. I think with the wrestlers, as you just kind of go with the flow, like I think referees got to go with the flow as well. Things are flowing. Hey, we got it. I'll tell a lot of referees, hey, here's the time cues I would appreciate. If you just give me these 3 time cues, that's it. I don't need every minute on the minute of a time cue of the match. So yeah, that's kind of, and then basically good referee, just vice versa of everything I just said. They don't,
Right.
staying
Yeah.
out of the way, not
Yeah.
making it all about you. Also, one thing I forgot to mention is I love when refs will come up to me, if, like, let's say if I'm the heel, and say, hey, don't do that, or we'll say, Jimmy, you don't need to tell him anything. I love when referees work with me in that way, where it's like, hey, tell him to sell over the buckle, or tell him
Right.
to sell over the second rope. Where they'll talk to me and help me with that. So I don't have to, like, always be so close, because being so tall, I look kind of dumb bending over and trying to talk to
Right.
some match.
Or just tell them, watch the boot, clothesline.
That's stuff like that, like little
Yeah.
things like that. Just tell him to be ready for the boot when he gets up. Yeah. So that's kind of,
It's one of those things too. You mentioned about time cues, is that there's some wrestlers that literally want every minute.
Mhm.
You give me every minute countdown and you can, or whatever. There's some that are just like you, where I've, many at TNA, even some at OVW, and just others I've worked with are now in WWE. But they'll literally go, hey man, just all I really need is, right, I need 7 minutes, and I need a 4-minute go home. That's all I
Yep.
really care about, or something like that. You're like,
yeah,
okay, cool.
depending on what the go home is. If it's a quick match, if I could say it's a 6-minute match, then
Yeah.
you give me like the 4-minute and the 2-minute time cue. That's all I need.
And then if there's aftermath after a match, it's
Yeah.
like, hey, just count me down. I want match time only. Okay, great. Then I'll let
Yep,
the
that's
producer
what I
know as
want,
well
too.
that match time only, and then they then let them know how much time they have for all their aftermaths or whatever their promo, whatever else is happening after the
I know
show.
what that's a perfect other thing, like a referee that's willing to work with the talent, and not a referee who's like, I just do it this way, because everybody's going to be a little bit different. So
Yeah.
being flexible and versatile like that's a great
Yeah.
trait to have as a ref.
So
I
Ben,
thought-
I had a rule. I had a rule. All right. If you had 8 minutes or less,
Mhm.
whether you wanted it or not, you're getting every minute. And that's
Okay.
because something you may or may not know
Mhm.
is you have that 8 minutes, and it's got to be a hard 8 minutes because it's not the main event
Yeah.
unless it's got a bunch of shenanigans going on afterwards. But generally, that's going to be a TV match. That's just a match. Which 8
Mhm.
minutes is 8 minutes is great. You know that. I'm sure you would take 8 minutes of TV.
Yeah.
But the reason why I did that and had that rule is because it wasn't going to follow me when it didn't go at 8 minutes,
Mhm.
right? Anything above that, I'll get it to you when I can, when I don't have to look like a
Yeah.
fucking mark
Yeah.
trying to
yeah,
get you accused. That was my rule. 8
That's-
minutes or less, you got everything, whether you wanted it or not,
Yeah.
or be the leader of the match. So if you're not the leader of the match, I'll give it to that guy and give it to you whenever I can.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Oh no, I totally get it. I think TV's a totally. So I'm talking mostly on the indies. But I
Okay.
see what you're saying
Oh,
when it comes
indies,
when it
I
comes to
love-
TV. Oh no, TV's a different animal. So like when that happens, it's that you got to do certain things. There can be a commercial break. There might be something in between the met where you gotta hit those times. So that's a little different. I could be more understanding of that. But like indies, when I'm like, hey man, I know we got 10. So if you just give me 2 when we know where to go home, like we're good. We're
Right.
good,
I
you know?
got you. I got you.
Yeah.
I wasn't taking it into that instance. I got you.
Yeah.
The other thing too, though, is that even pay-per-view matches, are what Brian's saying, the same thing. Like you have 20 minutes out there, and I'm getting But the good thing is you have a good producer. Like if Lance Storm is producing, he's not going to give you minute by minute down. He's going to say, hey, we're at 17 now.
Right.
Hey, we're now at 14. Hey, we're now at 10. You're like, okay, great. And then he goes, and then around 9 or 8, he starts giving me minute by minute. So,
Mhm.
and that's kind of because I don't need to give the talent all. They're, doing their thing unless he knows. Oh shit, we're at 14 and they're already at the 10-minute mark. We need to, I need to tell them to slow down or something like that. That's a different
Mhm.
story. But
Mhm.
yeah.
Of course. Oh yeah, the game changes when it's TV, when the red light's on for sure.
Absolutely. And recently you had a tryout with
I did.
WWE.
Yeah.
Maybe you could tell us a little bit on how that experience was.
Yeah, it was last week. So I had a tryout in 2021 just to kind of set the scene here. Obviously it didn't work out. So
I don't
I
want to cut
learned-
you off, Ben. In
Yeah.
2021, you said, right?
yeah, February 2021. Yep.
Okay. You were how many years in at that point?
Only 2.5. Only
Okay.
2.5 years.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
now we're, let's see. I'm not good at math.
About 6.5
6.
now.
Okay.
6.5. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it was an awesome experience. There was only 12 of us. There were 6 athletes and 6 wrestlers, but within the first hour, whether it have been a COVID test issue or or 3 people that just quit within the first hour, there ended up being 7 of us the whole tryout. So it was tough, but it was an awesome experience.
Was that at the PC?
Yeah, it was at the PC. Yep.
So stop real quick, Ben. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. So let's go back. So there was
Mhm.
12 guys originally.
Mhm.
Girls, guys, right?
Nope, just guys. It was 12
Just
guys.
Okay. And y'all all got COVID tested.
We all got COVID tested because it was February of 2021, so obviously still going on.
Okay.
We got tested at like 5 a.m. of the first day of the tryout. So
So basically, you guys were trying out to try out.
kinda, yeah.
Wow. That's
Yeah, about-
crazy.
So so they did the tryout, and 5 of the athletes 2 failed the COVID test, I think, and then 3 just left within an hour. We're like, we don't want to do this because it was very tough. They put us through the ringer. So 7 of us, finished the tryout. And unfortunately, it was a odd time in WWE at that time. There were a lot of changeover, and they didn't end up hiring anybody from that tryout. So that was 2021. So fast forward now to July 2025. I got the call that I was going to get this tryout Memorial Day weekend. So I've just been preparing for it. I knew kind of what to expect. And what it was going to be like.
What was it different? Being it was obviously in New Jersey, right? Yeah. So was it different that tryout compared to the PC in 21?
Yeah, no, it was definitely much different. A lot different. It was there was a lot more to it. A lot more like pomp and circumstance almost. Like the one in 2021 was very like bare bones. Here's the 2 rings, do the drills in and out, boom, see ya. This one was they had a big stage. They had 4 rings set up. It was at NJIT, New Jersey Institute of Technology. So it was like on their basketball court, but they had 4 beautiful ring setup, great lighting. They had a stage where we cut promos on.
Celebrities were there apparently.
Celebrities, yeah, celebrities were there. Cheryl Hines, who I got to meet. I'm a big Curb Your Enthusiasm fan, which
Okay.
is really cool. So, yep, get to meet her. They invited fans to it, so it was much, much different.
I don't know who you
Um,
were talking about just now, by the way, but anyway, go ahead.
yeah, yeah. So, Curb Your Enthusiasm, great show. Cheryl Hines is the wife of Larry
Thank
David
you.
in it.
Thank you
Yeah,
very much. You just won me over with that.
yeah. Oh, yeah. One of my favorite shows. That was cool, and we'll get to
Sorry,
that.
Jimmy.
We'll get to that in a bit. But
Everybody else knew but Brian, so it's okay.
yeah, no, it's all good.
You're right.
So yeah, there was like all this, they had everything done up really nice. We got these like nice shirts and these water bottles and bags and everything. So it was cool. We really were kind of treated like little pseudo celebrities that week. And the tryout, the thing about tryouts is that it's a tryout. It's not a seminar. It's not a coaching session, right? Like you're not going to get feedback whether you're doing well or you're doing poor. They just want to see how you perform. So when you do your promos, there's no selling it, right? Like Stoneface, they're just like, yep, thanks. Next
Mm.
person goes up, same thing. They're writing down notes. They're discussing, then so they can talk about it afterward. And that's
Now,
fine because that's what it
Ben,
is.
Ben, real quick, I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
Brian, no
Do,
problem.
do they give you a topic to talk on, or they want you to come up with all that
Yeah.
yourself and just shoot it?
So just so for me, for example, the first promo I did it was like your intro promo. So you wanted to discuss, like kind of who you are or what your either aspirations are or why you're here, that type of stuff. So you had to come up with about 60-second to 90-second promo there and then
Mhm.
the other two promos that I did were match promos. So we had two matches. The indie guys were matched up with other indie guys, and you had to cut a 60-second promo for the match. So those were the three promos that we did. And we had two matches as well, 4 in-ring sessions, drills, and all that. And then one like combine session with like vertical leap, broad jump, 10-yard dash, that type of stuff.
Now, when these matches are going on, like while there's 4 rings, or is multiple matches happening at the same time, or just
one.
one? Okay, got it. Cool.
Yep, one at a time. So there were 17 indie talent there, 13 men and 4 females. So each day we had 9 matches, and one person had to have 2 matches each day. So each of the days. So yeah. So actually, all the athletes that aren't wrestlers all sat and watched, and then of course you had the coaches like HBK, Matt Bloom, Smiley, Brookside, Regal, Carino, Johnny Moss, all sitting, and also the writers of NXT were there too, and they were all just sitting watching on a side of the ring.
Who
I'm
refereed?
assuming-
Who refereed these matches? I'm sorry, Jimmy.
No,
Yeah,
go
I
ahead.
had Chip Danning and
From
yeah,
what,
from NXT,
if that is
NXT.
his real name, Mr.
Chris. Yeah, I found that out. Yeah, that was real. I knew him
Yeah.
as Chip when he introduced himself as Chris. I'm like, you look familiar. I don't think you. I'm like, wait a minute, that's not. I think I've met him before, and I did, Chip. And then Daryl, but he goes by Adrian. I don't know his
Adrian
last.
Yes.
Butler. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go.
Hornet.
Yeah.
Hornet.
Hornet.
Adrian Butler,
yeah.
if that is his real name. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So they were great. They were great, and they really helped. They helped out a lot. So yeah, those were the 2 refs for the week that were there.
I'm assuming they filmed all this as well.
They got a lot of film.
But did they let you know whether this is going to be used for future, let's say, like recently we had the Unreal show. So is this going to be something like maybe plugged into that kind of thing? Or is that something, are you on an NDA and just say, I have no idea?
It could be, man. I signed some papers. I don't know what I signed. I might have signed something.
You're like me.
Oh,
I
man.
probably, yeah, right.
Were you drunk? Were you drunk then?
Always, man. Never not. Like, this is wrestling, right?
Oh
Like,
God.
when are we not? When are we
Well,
not?
that's on the dirt sheets now.
That's on
Oh,
the
there you go.
No, but yeah, I'm pretty sure they got a lot of like social media, like way more than the last one I did. Like this one was, they had the social media team in there, the WWE recruit page did an awesome job. That's how like my wife was figuring, it's like, how's everything going? She kept being like, oh wow, Cena showed up, or oh wow, like I didn't know Chelsea Green was. I'm like, how do you know all this? And it's the WWE recruit page was just pumping
Right.
out content like all day.
Yeah.
So they've opened it up a bit. I think before it was kind of closed and they didn't really want people to talk, but they invited fans now. So on Thursday from 11 to 2, fans paid and watched us do some rolls and some bumps and run through some drills. Then they had like a Q&A with Sean,
Right.
Chelsea, Rhea, and then they came back and watched a few other people do promos, about 20 of the people
So
do some promos.
so yeah, so I saw Cena talk. You brought that up, and I saw that
Mhm.
too as well, and others. So you mentioned that you had no feedback and those kind of stuff. But however, those guys like came over and talked to you all. So I'm assuming they gave you advice on,
Yeah.
because I know they even showed a video of like Cena like giving you a rah speeches basically.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
how was that interacting
There
with those
there
guys?
wasn't too much like individual advice. But Cena, came in and said like the three things to be in wrestling is reliable, coachable, and interesting. So he
Mhm.
just kind of said, those are the things that he put it in a way of like, here are the things that will get you out of wrestling. And he just did the opposite of those things I just said. But that's what he was kind of giving us, that like 5 minute speech. And that was really cool. It's just something that, as wrestlers, and I'm sure a lot of you guys can attest to this also, just being in the business, we don't allow ourselves to like realize like these are cool opportunities, like, and these are cool things sometimes, because all we're thinking about is like, oh, either don't be a mark, or don't, or don't, if you haven't hit a certain level yet, it doesn't matter. Like, oh, you're just on the indies, or hey, you're just at a tryout, doesn't matter. But like those things are things that not a lot of people, majority of people in life will never get to experience. So having that opportunity where Cena's just talking to us, was it individual advice? No, it was in a group, but still, he was right there, 10 feet from me, yeah, giving us advice, one of the greatest of all time. And that's something that's pretty cool.
So you
How do
actually
you
saw
how do you,
him.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. He was
I
10 feet from us. Yeah, he was
I
right there.
usually you can't see him. I was just blown away by
Oh
that.
God, I hate that joke, man. I can't stand it. It goes, honestly, at this point, that joke, people I just don't even acknowledge. I can't even like process it anymore. I hate it so much.
so just tell Daniel fuck off.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
I'm kidding.
Strike one. Strike one.
So
You
how would
mentioned-
you grade yourself? How would you
Yeah.
grade yourself from 21 to now? How do you think how do you think it went?
Light years better. I was ready physically. I was ready mentally. I personally think I did great. And the way out, like my body I was in better shape. Um, I tell people have been asking, how do you think you did? I'm like, I'm very happy and proud of what I did. And if it's enough, great. If it's not, then I have no regrets. I prepared the best way I could. I thought everything I was able to show in the matches, the promos and the drills, especially being a big guy, I was able to show out in those as well. So if it's just not enough, then, I'm not going to beat myself up over it. I'm very happy with what I was able to show there.
How do you feel? Do you feel like the door is getting closer to being opened, or you think it's still kind of solidly shut at this point?
Meaning for myself?
To get yourself to
Yeah.
a major place,
Yeah, of course. I mean, I'm not shy about it. I'm 35, I'm an older guy.
Well, you don't look 35
I know
at
that's
all.
I was gonna say that, but thank you, Brian. Appreciate it.
You really don't. You really,
yeah.
all
So
right, Daniel. He just said his age. Jimmy, RJ. He just said his age. What would you guess? Now I know our listeners are going, we can't fucking see, so how can we know? I'm just saying. I would say honestly, if I was really being honest, you may be 27. The way I would see it.
I get that a lot. I get 27, 28. Yeah.
I was going to say late
Yeah.
20s. I was
late
Yeah.
20s, late 20s.
Yeah.
sounds about
Yeah.
right, yeah.
So,
Not
I mean,
35.
Yeah, so that's a good thing, right? So that's something that they could be like, well, he doesn't look it. He doesn't look 35. And I still feel good. I still feel in good shape. So you don't know, right? Like I mean, in wrestling, you never know when the door is gonna finally shut on you. But I feel over the last 2 years at least, I've really started to gain more of a following, really become more comfortable with myself as a wrestler in the ring, as well as with promos, as well as just interacting with people. Now I've unfortunately made a lot of my gimmick just being chronically online, which sucks, but hey, here we are. So, get it how you live it. So I have to, so I'm just constantly interacting with people, and I'm just kind of trying to do what I can do, again, to stand out. I've had people since I started wrestling, within the first few months. Oh, Vince is gonna love you. Oh, you're don't 1 year and you're gonna get signed. 2 years you're gonna get signed. 3 years you're gonna get signed. And I got to 2023 2 years ago, and I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, am I gonna get signed or not? Like, because people keep telling me that, and because maybe I bought into my hype a little bit too much, and that was on me, But then that's when I started making more content and just doing things like being like, you know what, if it gets me heat, it gets me heat, whatever. Like I'm in the same spot anyway. Like, I'm not really getting booked crazy amount. Like
Right.
I feel like I'm doing well, but like not good enough, obviously. And then I started doing this content thing. I started pumping that stuff out, and opportunities just started to come about. I even said that in my intro promo at the tryout. I said, like, 4 years ago, you didn't want to gamble on me. You didn't want to take the gamble on Big Trouble.
Mm.
And now I'm here. I got my second chance, not because of my size, not because of my ability, but because I make a few funny internet videos. So
Right.
I mean,
Oh.
and it's crazy being a 7-footer. You're like, yeah, I got to do this. I got to do this to get over. But that's it. We're 2025 now. This isn't 1995 where I can just walk in and they could be like, hey, yeah, sure, dude. Here's a contract. We don't even care what
Yeah.
you could do. Here you go. So it's just you got to get with the times.
And I apologize if you've already done one. I haven't seen it though. So when is the confrontation of the video between Big Trouble, Ben Bishop, and the veteran Jack Vaughn?
Oh, we've done three.
Done three.
We've done
Okay, there you
three.
go.
We've done
See?
three. They're out there. Yeah. We did.
Uh,
And that's one cool thing is like, and a lot of people try to pit me and Jack against each other, thinking that we
Right,
have some
right.
type of, like, I don't know, ha heat. I don't know what you want to call it. So like, and but we're friendly, we're not, like when I met Jack, he was doing it before me. And I kind of thought like, I hope he's not like pissed or kind of, but he's been nothing but cool, and we respect the hell out of each other. We do different types of
Do
things.
different
and
things. You do,
yeah, it's
things
like,
are
it's
different.
okay, dude. There's a million guys that wear masks in wrestling. There's a million guys who do the same moves. Like, why can't two guys make content? Just because it's
Right.
similarly kind of like, because we a little similar to each other, but we have
Mhm.
different mannerisms, different vibes with it. So, what's wrong with more people? And now I think I've seen a lot more over the past few years, more people try their hand in it because they
Right.
probably see it. I'm not gonna be somebody who is saying, oh, because of me, but
Right.
kinda.
Well, no, well, you got to be honest. But hold on, I don't know if you can hear this. Did you hear that? Hold on, one more
Was
time.
it a thigh slap? Oh yeah, I
That's
thought
exactly
so.
what that was. Well, you're mentioning the social media and everybody. A lot of wrestlers are using that to help um, get themselves out there
Hmm.
and get themselves noticed and create content. What is your mantra for using it, and how do you? I know you use a lot of comedy in yours, and you try to make it fun. What is your overall take on some wrestlers? Because some are, I don't know, in my opinion, not doing themselves any favor on social media.
No, for sure. And I think that my take is it should be used as a tool. And the person that originally used it as a tool and really say weaponized social media for their own good is like Matt Cardona.
Mhm.
In 2011 when he just was like, I'm not getting anything, I got to do something else, and he started the vlog or the Z Long Island story and started using Vine and different social media outlets, Twitter, nobody was really using, and he started using that. Um, and use it in the best way to really build his brand. Now, when it comes to social media, it obviously could be good and bad. I think it's the best place in the world and the worst place in the world, where a lot of the worst people in the world can exist in a little bubble of irrelevancy, but find a community of people that are also just as miserable as them.
Mhm.
And I think wrestlers need to understand that you are signing up for that if you want to be online. The one thing the internet loves to do is keep people at an equilibrium. So if you are getting too hot and people start to like you, I always say, oh, just get ready. Get ready, because the come down's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. You're gonna get, people are going, and when they see someone get a little too popular,
Mhm.
then they start to take over. So I tell people just, hey, if things are going well for you online, just understand that there are people out there that don't like that you're succeeding and are going to try to find anything in their power, mince any word, take anything that you say and use it against you in some way. Um, I do think wrestlers, and I'm very guilty of this, and I'll never do this again. But wrestlers need to stand. You need to stand on your own on your own business. There, you can't bow down to certain people on social media. There's a very loud minority on social media that you think their opinion means something, and it doesn't at all. Like they're just there. They have no profile picture, and they can say whatever they want because there's no repercussions. Um, and you can't sell for it. You really can't. I think a lot of wrestlers unfortunately do, because it gets to be a lot. And if you're sitting there one day and all of a sudden every 3 seconds you're getting people calling you the worst things on earth and this horrible names, and you're getting DMs of death threats, and you're getting all this stuff,
Mhm.
just understand these people aren't real. It's
Right.
like robots, aliens, like they have, and the people that are in power or in the know, they know this doesn't matter. Like this just doesn't, it's all silly stuff. Now, on this other side of the coin, you can't be too controversial on Twitter too. You got to understand at the same time, as a wrestler, and if what you're looking for is what you're looking for, you can't be the one that's either doing something that might have a negative effect on where you're trying to go. So it's a fine line, But at the end of the day, I'm always about being a good person over a bunch of Twitter likes. Like what you see is what you get. I always tell people I'm just Ben. There's no like Ben Bishop, yeah, is a character in the ring, but that's also my real name, Ben. So, I'm about being a good person and about like, and it's, if that means, oh, you're gonna get some heat, I don't give a shit. I'm a man and a human being before anything else. And if my opinion on something gets somebody a little bit upset, um, so be it. Like it's like I'm gonna be genuinely me. I'm not gonna say anything that I think purposely will make people upset and say things that are either political or religious or anything like that, because I know that does make people upset. And I'm not trying to make people upset. But if I defend somebody that I know is a good person online and hasn't done anything wrong and they're getting attacked and you're going to attack me for different reasons because of that, so be it. I'll take it any day of the week.
So speaking of that, like you talked earlier about the tryout, why, why don't we do this? Why don't we tease this? So you talked a little bit about the tryout. We know that you've did some controversial stuff, or something controversial that happened, and you kind of like came to their defense. So why don't we pause here? We're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back in our third count, and we'll kind of lead into that and what we're kind of talking about here.
This is your 3 count.
All right, we're back here, roughing it up in our third count with the one and only Big Trouble, Ben Bishop. Ben, as we came out of the second account here, I kind of brought up a topic. In this tryout, you mentioned there was 4 girls.
Well, 4 indie wrestlers. There were many athletes, females.
Got it. Okay. Many athletes. So one of the females though, it's been getting some attention. Happened to be the niece of RFK Jr. Right now, and what was crazy about it is that it just got put out there as a story just to let people know, and then so many like terrible comments were happening on Twitter, and you came to her defense on all this. So talk a little bit about that. Like obviously I'm sure you got to meet her and and all that kind of stuff. So how did
what was her name again, Daniel? I'm sorry.
Her name is Zoe Hines.
Zoe Hines.
Oh yes.
So so Cheryl Hines' niece. People know Cheryl Hines from if you watch Curb Your Enthusiasm. Besides Brian doesn't, but everybody else knows Cheryl Hines.
I'll be back.
That's your home. That's your homework, Brian.
All right, I'm writing it down. Actually,
Curb Your Enthusiasm. So when I met Zoe, I didn't know any of this. So she didn't start talking to people saying I'm RFK's niece, I'm Cheryl Hines' niece. She just had a bubbly personality. She's a Boston College softball player. She's also on the French national team, which is funny because she says she doesn't know a lick of French, but she's on the French softball national team. And just a kind person. And I could tell she had a big personality. And I'm like, okay, I think she's going to do pretty well. So the first day of the tryout, she's doing the roles, she's learning it, she's being coachable. And then she does her promo. And I'm like, oh, this girl has this huge personality. And I'm like, she's already fits the mold there, right? Like that, what they're looking for is big personalities, and she's supporting everybody, and she's, doing a great job. So again, I had no idea of anybody that was in her family. I'm just like, I think Zoe's doing a really good job here. And she's a very kind person. So, and she was super respectful. That's another thing I missed. She was super respectful of like the wrestlers, because every now and then wrestlers get a little like, oh, all these athletes are here, like we're working on the indies and they get an invite to this that we've been working for. Some people will think that, right? It creeps into all of our heads, but she was respectful of the wrestlers and respectful of everybody there. So there was no point where that was an issue. So the second day comes and she does another promo in front of the fans. And then she mentions her aunt, Cheryl Hines, where I pop up and I'm just like, wait, what? And so I look over and I'm like, oh my God, it's Cheryl Hines. So I had no idea. She didn't make it a big deal. So now that was a thing. And again, I don't know everything about celebrities or politics or anything like that. I didn't know. And then still, I had no idea that Cheryl Hines is married to RFK, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. I didn't know. Like, so I'm just, going like, oh, that's cool. Zoe is Cheryl Hines' niece. That's all I knew about her. So again, we finished everything. We finished everything up at the tryout, and come to find out, I found out like yesterday that RFK is married to Cheryl Hines, so that is Zoe's uncle by marriage. Okay. I don't agree with what the whole administration does by any means, but the last thing I'm ever going to do is judge somebody who is related to somebody else, because I'm not going to judge that person based on who they are related to, especially if that person is not, talking about it or making a big deal about it or anything like that. Right. So unfortunately, like Danny, that you said, it went out today, and it was posted that Zoe Hines tried out for the WWE, and she just happens to be RFK's niece. And the comments started flooding. Oh, no wonder she got a tryout. Oh, MAGA this, MAGA that, this, that, and the other. Just being like, oh, they're going to have another MAGA person in WWE, whatever. Everything was just kind of. And so what I wanted to say, and I'll say it verbatim because I don't want to mince words or anything. And this is all I said. The comments are already disappointing. Zoe deserved to be at the tryout. High-level athlete, great personality. She absolutely crushed it in the ring and during promos. But of course, people will judge her solely based on who she is related to. It's a damn shame. And that's all I said. And now I'm a fascist. I'm supposedly a pedophile. I'm what else am I? I was called racist.
You condone sex trafficking.
Condone that. Yep, I condone that. I'm a fedophile. That's a new one. I think I just saw. Yep, that's a new one. A Fed super soldier. I didn't defend one thing the WWE did in that post. I defended the human being who is Zoe Hines on her, that she deserved to be there, and she was respectful, and she did a great job. And that's all I said. Now, again, majority of people are getting what I'm saying. We're talking about the loud minority here of people who just, their brains are broken, or they just need a community. They know they have a community of people who are all truly miserable, just miserable people. They have, and they want to, that's the only community that they have. And you know what, if that's their community, so be it. If that keeps you keeping on, I'm not going to judge it. I don't care. But I don't like when people are attacked. And if at any way, and I don't think it would, but if any way that gets me heat with anybody and causes me to lose bookings, I don't care, because at the end of the day, man first, a professional wrestler second. Man comes first. I'm going to stand on my morals and what I believe in over any of this like silly, I need to like fake phony BS, because, and nothing and again, I don't say anything. I'm not saying anything political. I'm not saying anything religious. I'm not saying I agree with RFK. I'm not saying I disagree with RFK. I don't agree with everything. I don't disagree with everything that the current administration does. Okay. So because I think everything logically, and I make my own assumptions based on what I see. I just don't like it. I don't like it.
It blows my mind too that we get in a world where everything is so political on this or that, or you have to pick a side. It's like no, you don't. You can just live your life and then
live your life
and judge accordingly, or I don't want to say judge, or like you said, use your brain rationally accordingly, and like make a decision based on this. And guess what? There's been, since I've been alive, I've had, I'm trying to count the presidents, but whatever. There's been different presidents over time that I've agreed and disagreed with. There's been some I voted and some I didn't vote. And guess what? I'm still alive today. I'm still living my life, and it did not affect me whatsoever. If I focus so much on it, just live if people would just live their life and quit worrying about stuff like that, they would be much happier. But unfortunately, they can't, and that's the sad part about it. But you did the right thing, because this person doesn't deserve to be judged for anything, no matter who they're related to, no matter what. They didn't get the tryout because, I mean, and here's the thing. Let's say they got the tryout because someone did call them and say, hey, so-and-so is an athlete. Can you take a look at her? Guess what happened? That happened to The Rock. The Rock got a phone call, or The Rock's dad called Pat Patterson and said, check out my son. He wants to be a wrestler. Well,
that's the business we're in.
That's the business we're in. It happens.
It's not what you know, it's who you fucking know.
Exactly.
And it's not just it's not just in the WWE. It's across the board. You look at any company, that's what happens. Yeah. You know somebody's going to go to bat for you and say, hey, check out this person. Check out that person. And it doesn't have to do anything. See, and that's the problem now I see, and I hate to cut you off here, all you guys, but the problem I see with anti-social media right now is that, especially the wrestling community, because wrestling was originally designed to be an escape and to be entertained. You shut off your brain from the real world, go have fun at wrestling. They have turned this into an us versus them mentality and completely forgot about what the original purpose of pro wrestling was
Mhm.
to have fun, to cheer, to boo.
You know, I did think, Jimmy, is that I think majority of people still have that mentality, right? And I think it's just that online, very, very loud minority that has that mentality.
Yeah,
Because you see that, you see a
they're
lot.
drowning out the one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But you do gotta realize, like I realize sometimes is I think in the US, I think the number is I think it's definitely less than 10% of the population is active on Twitter. Or actually on Twitter, and active is actually much lower.
Right.
So we got to just remember that this isn't the people that are in the arenas like that go to some of these shows. They're not the ones who are talking about like, oh, but do you know that they just had someone to try out who's related to RFK? No one's saying that. Or is it going to sway their decision to watch the product or not?
Mm-hmm.
No, because they think rationally and logically.
You
They're
know,
not,
Ben, they
not all
say
performative. Yeah, sorry about that, Brian. What'd
no,
you say?
you're good. No, I'm sorry. I thought you were finished. My bad.
No, you're good.
But no, what they say is this, and I mean, this was years ago, and I still believe it to be true now. These people that put out spoilers and things of that nature is 10% of the audience that actually goes there.
Mhm, mhm.
So basically, they're like, I'm not afraid to say it. They're like, Jimmy, me, Daniel, you, RJ, we're one of those 10% because we're marks for our business that we enjoy and we love. But you know what? My father-in-law, who watches wrestling, doesn't have a fucking clue about any of the shit that I know. And he's shocked when I'm like, man, I heard this today. And he's like, no way.
Mhm.
Like so dumbfounded. You know what I mean? And I want to pivot back real quick. I would like to know how your comment on Twitter has anything to do with being a fucking pedophile. Because this is where this shit pisses me off.
Mm-hmm.
These adolescent idiots that are online that are, like you said it so good, they're miserable motherfuckers with their life and want someone to join their miserable fucking feelings.
Mhm.
I'm sorry. It made me so mad listening to your very pleasant tweet, just defending someone. And these fucks want to come after you. And if y'all don't like it, listen to my show, and you're one of those, don't fucking listen and sue me, motherfuckers, because I don't care.
Yeah. No, you said it.
Keep your shit together.
It's
It's fucking wrestling, for God's sakes. It's wrestling. This is not even politics. It's like
No.
wrestling.
nothing I said condoned or insulted anything that RFK does. I had nothing to do with them. It had absolutely nothing to do with them. It just was defending somebody that I believe is a very good person and a genuine human being that has nothing to do with anything.
No.
With any of this. So it's but that's the thing, Brian, is that they know they can say that stuff because that's all they have. So they can just make something up. They don't have a real picture. So I'll tell people like, oh, you want to have actual conversations? Then show me then we'll have a FaceTime. And I want to see your face. I want to see your face. I want to know your name. I want to see. Then we can talk about the real issues. But I'm not going to have a conversation with you. And that's what I said. Someone's like, "Oh, do you believe? Oh, so you condone everything WWE is doing and this that?" I'm like, I didn't say any of that. I didn't say a thing. I didn't say. And we can have that separate conversation offline, or we can talk if you'd like. But I want to see who you really are. You know, because you have no you can say whatever you want here, and you have no repercussions because you're anonymous.
Well, they're cowards.
They're cowards. That's it. Oh, it's cowardly. Of course it is. Of course it is. I know that. And that's one thing now I just don't at the end of the day, I don't go back and forth with them as much as I used to. That was another problem. I did it too much. I went back and forth too much. Like you can't reason with these people.
Yep.
Yeah, that was my problem. And I'm learning from you young man. I'm
really?
I'm going to tone that down a little bit because apparently if I get seen in LA, I'm done.
Oh,
Anyways,
yeah. These people, they don't leave the house.
So Ben, I do want to do this really quick. I do. I don't want to talk about wrestling for a minute.
Oh, great.
I want to talk about something I know. Like really well.
What do you know?
Well, do you know something?
I do. Brother, you went to March Madness.
Oh yeah, twice.
Holy smokes. Okay. I'm going to lay out. I need to hear about it. Because this is the other than I'm gonna say other than VCU basketball, which is the Virginia Commonwealth University
Of
Rams.
course. Yeah.
Other than I hate to say this to you, you might hate me now. The Commanders.
Okay. No, all right.
This is by far like the highlight of my every year. Like,
So what's funny is that I live in the capital of the that gets the highest rating for the NCAA tournament, Louisville, Kentucky, every year by CBS Sports. So I love March Madness too because it's here like Louisville and Kentucky both. Like, come on now.
I mean, your life should be done, dude. You've done it all now.
Oh, I've done it all. Yeah. So
I mean, seriously.
I'll give you. So yes, I played 4 years at the University of Vermont. So we were. Really
I remember this too. Do you know that?
Yeah, you do.
I
Really?
do. I went back and looked, and I was like, "Look at this fucking guy."
Yeah, dude. So I see 4 years at Vermont, and it was a great 4 years. Unfortunately, individually, I had a lot of injuries in college at pretty inopportune times. But socially, team wise, I wouldn't trade it for anything. I loved my teammates. I went, like I said, I played in every postseason tournament. So I played in the CBI and the NIT as well. But NCAA twice, my freshman and junior year, and played against my freshman year. We played against Syracuse, and that's when they had Andy Routins, Anuaku, Chris Joseph, Scoop Jardine.
See, now you're talking my language.
Rick Jackson, yeah. And then my junior year, we played. You might like this too. My sophomore year, throughout the whole year, we played against Jimmer Fredette, Norris Cole, Andrew Gowdlock, and Kemba Walker. And that was the year. Yeah, and we played UConn the second game of the year. That was the year they won the whole thing.
Did he shoot a free throw with one hand when y'all were playing him?
No, he didn't. But he's such a nice. He put up like 46 against us.
God,
he's such a nice guy. Like you'd be like, oh, God, I hate that you're a nice guy. And so is Jimmer Fredette. My roommate was guarding him, and he was actually defensive player of the year that year in our conference. And so his matchup was Jimmer, and I've never seen him more tired. He was running through every screen possible, just getting blindsided by screens. And Jimmer's ended up having like 28. So our teammate was like, well, I held him to his season average. I guess I did an okay job.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, that was crazy. And then my junior year, we went back to the NCAA tournament and we won a game. We beat Bobby Knight's son's team, Lamar.
Oh, did he throw a chair?
Yeah, surprised, but he did. You can tell he was pissed. Well, I can tell who your dad is. It's very easy to tell. You saw the fire come out a little bit. So we beat them. So I have one win in the NCAA tournament, but then we got served up to North Carolina, and that's when they had Tyler Zeller, Harrison Barnes, Kendall Marshall. And so I always tell people when they're like, they talk about the Greensboro Coliseum for wrestling. I'm like, oh man, I've been there. I was on CBS at the Greensboro Coliseum. Give me a break.
Bitches.
Yeah. So I was on national TV in Greensboro as well. So that's what me and Ric Flair have in common.
So let me ask you a question. So, all right, did you stay in the same location after the first win like they do now?
Yeah. Same thing. Yeah.
All right.
Right after as Duke played. Duke played Lehigh, and that was the year Lehigh beat him. It was yeah. So a lot of the we had the Duke fans cheering for us because they played right after. So the Duke fans were all like, it was mostly North Carolina fans, but we had a subset of Duke fans that went to both games. So they were cheering for us because obviously they didn't want to see North Carolina win. But yeah, Duke lost that year to Lehigh as a 15 seed. That was CJ McCollum's Lehigh team.
Oh, wow. So Ben, how does it work? So like when you guys go, does the NCAA pick up from all that crap? Like they get you there, all that stuff?
Oh yeah. You're paid. Everything's paid for. Like you get a chartered flight. You get to the hotel that you're staying at. And we never got any of this cool stuff because we were like a mid-major school and a low major conference.
A VCU guy.
You're kind of similar. Yeah. So you get there. They have all the like, the big catering set up, and they have, you get like a watch. You get like a NCAA.
Do they get a goodie bag with like a bunch of
you get a bunch of stuff. The farther you go, the goodie bag gets heavier and better. But yeah, everyone gets a watch, and you get a bunch of like t-shirts and stuff, and a ton of press and all this shit. So yeah, they like, it's all the bells and whistles. So it's like they have, you have a police escort to the game.
Hmm.
So it's all pretty, especially for guys like us who didn't ever see any of this stuff. It was really cool for the smaller schools to go there and see it.
That's amazing, man. That is
Yeah.
amazing.
Awesome. What a really cool experience.
So how do you transition? I know Brian wanted to take this away from wrestling, but I'm going to bring it back to wrestling because how about somebody who's 6'12", has gone to the NCAA championship tournament twice,
Mhm.
transition into becoming a pro wrestler? Like,
So
how did that path?
I've always loved wrestling. So I've always, even when I was in college, I loved wrestling since I was 8 years old. And I didn't really have, I none of my friends watched it. It was just me. Like, so I didn't have, like, so I just always loved it. Something about it, when I first turned on WCW, that was the first thing I ever saw. And I saw Kevin Nash, and he's my favorite. He's my favorite ever. So, so like from then on, I just started watching, and there were years where I went in and out and
Does
didn't
he
watch
know
a
that,
lot.
Ben? Does he know that?
He does. Kev knows. Yeah.
He does.
Yeah, he likes a lot of my stuff, a lot of the content. I just saw him over the weekend, and he out of nowhere he just yelled out, "Ben, how was the tryout?" I didn't tell him. He
Oh,
knew.
wow.
Oh.
He knew because he like followed me on social media. So I know he knows. He knows. Yeah, and he's been
Is
nothing.
he
nothing
taller than
cool.
you?
Yeah, by like a little bit.
Ah.
Yeah. I
Just
mean,
tell him
I
you're
don't want to.
6'12".
I don't
So
want
he's-
to pull the curtain back too much, but I'm a shoot 6'10". So shoot 6'10". So yeah, he's
Okay.
got me. I think he's about a 6'11". He's got me.
You could have just said that Kevin was 6'13".
I could have said that too. Right? Exactly. Kevin. I said Kevin Garnett, but no, it was Kevin Nash. The story was about. So yeah. I just lost track. What were we saying? We're cutting this topic. Oh, watching wrestling, getting into it. Yeah. So yeah, I just watched it all these years, and then 2019. This was, 6 years after I stopped playing basketball. I played a little bit of Australian football. You can shout out the Baltimore Dockers, but it was here. It was here in the
Nice.
States. So I kept active, but like I just didn't have anything else until one day. And this is honest to God how I got into wrestling. It's just an interesting, funny story. I was listening to Busted Open one day. It was a Friday, and Enzo was on, and he was talking about Cass. Cass was going through some challenges at the time. He's talking about that, but he's like, "Oh, I have a show tonight right outside of Baltimore," and I was living in Columbia, Maryland at the time. So I was like, "Oh, all right, you know what? My wife's dog sitting for a friend. I'm just like, hey, maybe I'll go check this out. I love wrestling, and this would be kind of cool to see an indie show." So I go and I'm kind of minding my own business, and intermission hits. I'm just standing in the back, and Gilbert walks up to me, of all people. Yeah, Dwayne Gill walks up to me and he goes, "Hey man, are you a worker?" And I was just like,
No, I'm only 6'12". No.
so I didn't know what so Brian, I didn't know what that meant. So I go, yeah,
Oh.
I have a job, because I wasn't like I wasn't like an internet wrestling fan. I just was I watched it. I watched what was on TV, So I didn't know what worker meant. And so he said, "No. Are you a wrestler?" And I was like, "No." He's like, "Do you want to be?" I'm like, "I've always wanted to be." So he walked me up to James Ellsworth, and James Ellsworth started training me literally the next day. And
It's crazy.
yeah, it's just I wasn't like planning on doing it. I just went to a show and was listening to, and now like, over 6 years later, here we are.
Nice.
Ben, you are very easily to talk to. Like the way you
Oh,
this
thank
is
you.
no, seriously, this has been absolutely wonderful. But we do have to have a unfortunate situation happen right now, and that is we got to go.
Oh man, having such a good time with you guys, but I get
for
it.
now.
It's time.
For
time. You give me the 2-minute cue here. Is this the 2-minute cue?
No. I'm just telling you to take her home,
Waving
brother.
the tie.
Wrap it up.
But here's the thing. Here's what I want you to do. I do want you to put out all your socials. I want you to put
Yeah.
out anything you've got coming up. We're going to
Yep.
leave the floor to you. This is your time. You can take as long as you want to. It doesn't matter to me.
All right, wonderful. Well, coming up on August 16th, I'll be in St. Augustine, Universal Pro Wrestling. Very excited for that show. It is being run by Hatchet Pro Wrestling, which is a great school. So if anybody is in St. Augustine, Jacksonville, North Florida, South Georgia area, and you're looking to get into wrestling, that school is ran by Sam Shaw. You might know him as Dexter Loomis in WWE, and John Davis, and my buddy Brandon Bullock as well. So 3 great coaches. So if anybody in that area is looking for to get into it, that's somewhere to go.
Just do me a favor real quick when you get there. Can you just tell Dexter he sucks and tell him Brian said it?
I'll let him know.
All right. Tell him to go
Yeah,
fuck
I'm sure
himself.
he'll get a kick out of it. So that's that. August 19th, I'm getting to wrestle Nick Nemeth in beautiful Overland Park, Kansas.
Oh, wow.
This is the second time I'm wrestling him this year. And first time went great. He actually put in a word at TNA, Daniel, wink, wink. Come on, man. We got to be a little political. And then after that, a bunch of shows in Florida for CCW. Awesome spot, actually. ALW on August 22nd. It's me and Enzo. Doesn't that make sense as a team? Taking on Baba Thunder, used to be in WWE, as well as his tag partner, Jason Duran, I believe his name is. Hope I didn't get it wrong. But I tell people all the time, just follow me on socials at Big Trouble BB, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. I'm an open book. I communicate, I talk to everybody as long as you're respectful, and I'm always promoting, I'm always putting out content. That's kind of what I've turned myself into at this point, to the chagrin of my wife being chronically online. So I got to chill with that a little bit. But just follow me, interact with me. I like having a good time. But it is, like I said, at the end of the day, I'm just Ben. So that's how I've always lived my life. So come out to a show. Love to meet all of you. Or talk to me on the internet. That works too.
Cool.
One more question.
Yeah, please.
Uh-oh.
You're married.
I am.
How does your wife feel about you plugging at it, going at it, man? Because some people have a good experience with it, some people don't.
That's a great question. And, I'm happy you asked that, because I can put her over a little bit. She's been nothing but supportive. She has gone through it, especially, me being away, or the emotions of professional wrestling, and seen me reel up, reel down. And she's been a rock the whole time. Is she human? Of course. Does she get upset if I'm away for, 4 or 5 days at a time? Of course. But she knows that I'm chasing my dream. And she, at the end, she always says, this is something you've always wanted. And she gets that. So, I make sure, I remember I looked at her, I was like, oh, there's a show in Vermont on GCW is running a show November 9th in Vermont. And I was thinking about maybe hitting him up, because that's where I went to school. And she just looked at me and goes, it's our anniversary weekend. And I go,
no.
I go, yeah, you're damn right. No, never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you got to make, and I know, I got to make sure, because she supports me. I got to make sacrifices here and there, take some weekends off, and make sure that we're, enjoying ourselves. But she's been so supportive of this whole process, going to the tryout. And if I get the good news in a few weeks, or so be it, she's open to moving and relocating as well. So no, she's great.
How long you been married?
It will be 5 years in November.
You got a lot to learn, kid. Nice having you on.
Yeah, and don't bring her on. Don't bring her on this show, because you'll end up being their second favorite bishop.
The second favorite. Yeah, no, I don't. She is not a big wrestling fan. We'll say that. So she's okay staying away from it a bit. She'll watch me, and she'll watch some of the shows here and there. But yeah, she doesn't care for it too much.
Yeah, because Jimmy brings his wife on, and immediately we're like, "See you, Jimmy. You're out of
See
here."
you, Jimmy. Right? I know.
I'm out.
What's up, the best Gordaris?
That's the crazy thing. She's been in some of my content that I put out, and actually my most watched video. Everyone's like, "Oh, she's the star of it." I'm like, "Yeah, I know. I'm not. She is. She did a great job. It was funny."
Hey, Ben, I want to be serious here for a minute.
Yeah.
I want to say that
Storm's
I'm so great. No, would you say?
I said that's Lance Storm's gimmick.
It's okay. We steal gimmicks here. Go ahead.
All right. Well, yeah.
Gimmick infringement, flag on the play.
I know, right? Sorry, sue me. But no, I'm so very happy that you're, a blessed guy who's happy at home, is able to try and pursue his dream. Brother, we brought you on because we see the things you're doing. We all are pushing for you to. It'd be cool, like to have you on before you get that call. Hopefully,
Yeah.
you know what I mean. And you know what? I think you already know this, because I think you're already doing it. But don't stop dreaming, man. And I really appreciate you being on here.
Oh man, thank you so much. No, it was an honor, being on this on this podcast. I'm so happy because of RJ, not because of you guys. But
Oh, okay.
All right, we're gonna
That's right.
isolate that
We're gonna
and
isolate-
cut and
That'll be the only thing he puts on
The only thing
YouTube.
the only thing you put but no, I was so happy that RJ reached out to me and offered me to come on here. I made sure we did it, right away. It's tremendous. I was sitting here with like I said, the most important people in wrestling, referees. Like I said, the most important things go off the rails, and 3 absolutely solid ones and just legends in your own right. So no, I appreciate this, guys.
Thank you.
Thank
man.
you. That's very kind of you to say because, as you know, we get both ends of the stick. You
Mhm.
know, sometimes when things go well, we get a pat on the back, and then when things don't go well, guess who? You know what runs downhill.
Yeah. You know what? Best way to describe referees, you guys are offensive linemen, where
Mhm.
you only hear about the offensive linemen when they're doing a bad job. But if you don't hear anything,
Mm.
they're doing their job. So
Yep,
that's
you're right.
That's
Actually,
that's
true.
That's
That's
actually a
true.
good analogy. Yeah.
I'm actually going to use that line when I train.
please take it.
Mm.
Take it. That's what you
I'll
guys
give it.
are.
I'll give it to Earl to give to.
There you go. There you go. You can say you made it up too. I don't care.